Yo, what's going on, guys? In today's video I finally want to answer the question, is it worth it to do the Lake of Kalandra league mechanic? And most of the people agree with each other that it's not really worth doing it, and some people will go as far as say it's never worth doing it, but I personally haven't seen anyone putting it to a test, so that's what I decided to do today. Because after they buffed the rewards, Lakers actually drop a decent amount of currency and it doesn't take that much time to do them, so maybe there is actually something in there. And also when I did like 10 of them in a row after the buffs, I got 4 divines from 10 of the lakes. So I don't know if I just got lucky, maybe it actually is that rewarding. So what I decided to do is throughout my last test, I assembled 50 lakes of Kalandra, and today I am gonna be doing them. And here are all of them. Let me show you. So I did sorted them by the highest difficulty of the tile. So these ones have the highest difficulty 7, here is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and I got one with 16. So most of them are maximum difficulty of 10. So here are all of the 50 lakes. But before I move on to the results, first let me show you how I was assembling them. So I'm gonna assemble one full lake, and I'm gonna show you every single step of the way. So here is the first choice. So first thing that I always do is I always look at the size of the tablet, and this one is 5 by 5, which is actually a very good one, which basically means it doesn't matter which way you go, you always are gonna get the maximum possible amount of tiles. So if I go this way, I'm always gonna end at the wall at the end. If I go this way, it is gonna be the same. So it's always possible to get 16 rooms. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, even 17. Well, but you also have to count the entrance. So -1, so that's 16. If let's say this tablet didn't have this column, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4. If I went this way, it would still be maximum possible amount, obviously less than 16, but still this way would be maximum possible amount. But if you went this way, you would end up in this line and here, and you wouldn't be able to go in here because they would be close to each other. So this would be not optimal choice. You would have to go this way. So if you look at this one, this is a very good one because again it has 5 by 5, so you can go any way you want. So what I always do first is I check what is the best way to get the maximum possible amount. So in this one I can already see that this full row is already filled, this one is almost filled, and here is like a nice turn. So what I would do is I would try to go like here and finish in here, and possibly if I get more options to change the water tile into the tiles, I would start putting them in here. So in this case I would hope to get the swap empty tile with a water tile, and I would swap these two. Then I would try to swap these two, put the entrance in here, and then would also have to swap this one. So best case scenario, I would need 1 entrance swap, 3 empty tile with water tile swaps, and this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 change water tile into an empty tile. If I get 1 or 2 options to change the water tiles, I would prioritize this one because it would give me like this turn, and then I would prioritize this one, and then this one would be the last one. In terms of the options, the most important things are unlocking these 3 options because they actually can give you much better outcomes. So first thing I always want to do is you want to exile something. So you always want to exile any elemental tiles with no like lines on top of them. So the basic elemental tiles. And also, by the way, I call them, I know a lot of people call them by like bronze, silver, gold. I just call them by tiers. So this would be for me tier 1. So I exile all of them. And now I have this one, for example, for me is tier 4. So as an options, if I know I'm gonna be able to swap this one, maybe this one, and this one, and this one, I'm only gonna be filling these tiles. And I know this is gonna be the end for me. I'm gonna try to put the tier 4 tiles somewhere around here, and preferably not at the end, because maybe I'm gonna change my mind at some point and I'm gonna put the entrance here. So for now I'm gonna put it in here. And now I actually got the swap water tile with empty tile, which is a very good option, because now this is prepared for the entrance swap. If I got the entrance swap first before this, I would have to put it either here or here. So that is good that I got it as a first option. Now I am in a second map, and here both of these are pretty bad, but Expedition is actually decent. I don't think Expedition scales that well with difficulty, but it always gives you like 2 free Expedition currency. So I actually always like to go for them, but I don't put them at the end with like high difficulty. I try to put them somewhere close to the beginning. So I'm gonna put it in here. And here we actually don't have anything good. What I did learn from the test is that strong boxes are actually very nice, but they have to be tier 3, and this one is tier 1 because it doesn't have any line, so I actually also wouldn't go for the strong boxes in this case. Also, monsters are pretty annoying when you're trying to make a choice. So in here, I actually would skip. Here, same thing, nothing really worth it, and I pretty much never go for any league mechanics except for the Expedition and the strong boxes. Skip next one, and now I got tier 3, which is decent, so I'm gonna put it somewhere in the middle, let's say here. And again, pretty unlucky, nothing really good in here. Skip. Tier 4 is gonna go somewhere close to the end, maybe even here, because I already have this tile prepared for the entrance swap. Okay, now we are in a third map, and again I got tier 4, so I'm gonna put it somewhere close to the end. This is actually looking like a very nice tablet, if I am gonna be able to swap the entrance. Swap Reflection is actually basically a free reroll, because what we can do is we can literally just swap 2 close to each other and you just get a reroll without using one of the options. So now we are in map number 4. So here I got swap water tile. I would hope to swap this one with this one, but since I can't do it because I wasn't able to swap the entrance yet, I'm gonna go for this one, and I'm just gonna hope that I'm still gonna get one option to swap the this tile after I'm gonna be able to swap the entrance. So now we have to rely on luck. Legion and Essences are actually good if you can kill them, and my build is actually strong enough to kill them, so I don't want to waste a reroll, so I'm actually gonna go for it, and I'm gonna put it somewhere in the middle. I still have one space here in case I get tier 4, so I'm gonna put it in here. Now we are in map number 5. We got a tier 3, so that's decent. Let's put it somewhere here. Another swap reflection, so again, basically a free skip. Change water tile to an empty tile. So this is a risky one, because I wasn't able to swap this one yet, so I can put empty tile in here, but then we're gonna create the circle, and I still am gonna have to swap this one. So this is a risky one to put somewhere. I think I'm gonna, so it's always like up to you, like you're never gonna make a perfect choice. Like for some people, perfect choice might be here because you still hope for this one, but if you know you're not gonna be lucky and you're not gonna get another swap, maybe don't do it. Maybe you can put it in here just to get another one connected. But I think I'm gonna basically try to kind of ignore it, but at the same time hope for the best. So I'm gonna put it in here, just in case eventually I am gonna get the swap. I'm gonna swap water tile with the empty tile. I'm gonna swap these two, and it's gonna be like a long chain. And maybe I'm gonna even put the entrance in here, not in here. Now we are in map number 6. Again, a very good reward, tier 4, but unfortunately we still didn't get the entrance swap, which is quite unlikely. Most of the time we're gonna get at least one entrance swap pretty fast. And tier 3, so I'm gonna put it in here. Essences, let's do it. Maybe somewhere around here. Now we are in map number 7, and now we are starting to get really desperate because we still didn't get the entrance swap, which is very unlikely. Like most of the time I would get the entrance swap within first 3 maps. So here there is no good choice. I'm just gonna use my second skip, which is also gonna use up one choice, but unfortunately we have to do it. And another tier 4. We actually got so many tier 4s in this one. Maybe I'm gonna get the swap reflection with reflection, so I'm gonna maybe swap this essence with this one. It would be very bad if I didn't get the entrance swap, and I got so many good rooms. Here I'm gonna use another swap, skip. Map number 8, we got Scared tier 3, but to be honest, I don't really care about Scared, so I think I'm gonna skip it anyway. Just unfortunate because this is our last skip, so now I'm gonna have to choose whatever I get. Maybe I should go for the essences and put it somewhere at the beginning. Maybe that's better than just wasting a skip, so I'm gonna try to do it. Tier 3, so this is my last optimal choice. Now I'm gonna have to start putting the reward rooms on not optimal tiles, unfortunately. Map number 9, and I still didn't get the entrance swap. So now I'm gonna take this and put it in here because I pretty much have no other choice. I still need this one for the entrance. So maybe maybe let me put it in here because I can still swap this one with this one. So I'm gonna do that. Swap water tile with empty tile. So I wish I got the entrance swap first, so I could put it in here, and then I could swap this one with, let's see, here. But unfortunately I got it first, so now we hope for the entrance swap, and then another swap water tile with empty tile. So I'm gonna go for this one, and if anything, now I think I actually would swap entrance with this tile. Because this way I'm gonna start in here as a reward 1, 2, here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so all of these would be at least 6. If I start in here, I would have 1, 2, and this would be like 3, 4, so these would be very low. So here you have much more distance to more rooms. So that's why I think in this scenario I would actually swap entrance with here. Obviously, if you still hope to get the best possible outcome, you should still put it in here and then get the swap from here to here. But at this point, we only have 2 empty tiles, which means also only 2 choices remaining, maybe 3. So I am no longer hoping for the best outcome. I'm just gonna take what I can get. So I think I will just put entrance in here. So now we are in tablet 10. And I actually think that 10 maps is actually the average amount of maps that should take you to complete the full tablet. Maybe 11. So in this one we didn't get anything good and we still have one last skip, so let's go for it. And still we didn't get the entrance. So now I'm gonna put this. Actually, maybe I should still try to go for the entrance here because we have a lot of tier 4s in this area, which is very annoying. Like finishing a tablet sometimes is very annoying. You can never guarantee that you're gonna have the best outcome. So I think I'm gonna risk it, and I'm still gonna try to go for the best outcome. Maybe we're gonna get lucky. Okay, now I got the entrance pretty much at the end. If I get the water swap, we're gonna have a perfect tablet. If not, then I made a mistake and I should have put the entrance in here. Let's see. Okay, I guess we have to do one more map. Okay, let's look at the last choice in map number 11. And I didn't get the water tile swap. So unfortunately, it's not gonna be perfect, but still the highest difficulty is gonna be 11, which is not that bad, and you have a lot of tier 4, the difficulty is like 9, 8, 7, and so on. So in this one, I'm just gonna take one of these, which are kind of whatever rooms, and let's just take the tablet. So now obviously I am also gonna show you the example of the tablet. So again, this is the average one, difficulty 11. Let me put away all of my loot so I can show you at the end how much stuff did we get. So first room are gonna be essences, so it's not gonna be that much stuff. Well, we actually got one purple essence. I should corrupt it, but I can't be bothered using one portal, so I'm just gonna kill it without corrupting it. Essences can actually be good, but they have to be higher tier, and preferably further away from the beginning, but still, they are pretty hard. In terms of expedition, I mostly just am looking for the mini-boss, which should be somewhere around here. And we got 3 Astragali, which is decent. Like, for killing one monster, 3 Astragali is not that bad. Now, we got 3 remnants. And remnants, I think, go for around 2 chaos. So if you think about it, this room was at least 6 chaos just because of the remnants. Maybe 1.5 C per one? I'm not too sure how much they go for nowadays. Now we got tier 3 room. We got stack decks, 5 stack decks. So that's like what? 7 chaos? 8 chaos? We go for like 1.5. Oh, and we got the duplication. When you get this like a text from Kalandra, she is like, I don't know, turning into like a shadow mod or whatever. She is duplicating all of the bosses, and you're gonna get 2 reflecting mist choices.
My mana is gone.
I don't think it increases the rewards from the chest. I think it only affects the amount of reflecting mist, which most of the time are worthless anyway. So this one is useless, and this one also useless. So let's go for the next room. Fortunately, my build is actually pretty good for the lakes because I'm playing General's Cry, which has a very high single target damage, and you don't really need any like clear. You don't need a lot of area because most of the rooms are gonna be either exiles or bosses, which only care about the single target. On top of that, General's Cry is pretty fast with all of my elite slams, especially if I'm doing a weapon swap. Like, look how fast I'm running. The only rooms which are like this, with a lot of monsters, are the tier 1s, and I am not even going for the tier 1s that often. Now our essences. So here,
I cannot do this
even
yet.
more remnants. Yeah, fortunately, I'm able to kill them. If you don't have a good damage, you should probably skip the essence rooms. They are probably the hardest ones to do. Another scarabs. No gilded. Scarabs are actually most of the time not that great. Most of the time we're gonna get just rusted and polished scarabs, which are not worth that much. Unique. Leather belt and map. I guess I can take the map. And 4 rooms remaining. This is chaos, which is the hardest damage type for me because I don't have that much chaos resists. Silver. Currency. No divines this time. I actually do think, in terms of reward chests, once you reach reward difficulty like 8, 9, I don't think higher difficulties matter that much. A lot of people, when people open like difficulty 16, people expect for it to be like big explosion of loot, or 15 or 14, and if you think about it, it's just +1 from 15, and 15 is only +1 from 40. It doesn't scale the reward exponentially, it's just additive, which means as long as you have like 8+ on your rooms, they are already decent, or maybe even like 6+. The last one obviously are still gonna be on average better than previous ones, but yeah, you shouldn't really expect to get a ton of rewards. And maybe that's the biggest issue with the league. Maybe they should be scaling like exponentially. Maybe we should be getting like extremely good rewards from the super high difficulty. Well, at least this time I got Polish Divination and Harbinger, but nothing too great. So most of the people would look at this lake and would say, well, you didn't get anything, it was worthless. But then you actually look at the loot, and you see I got 5 stacked decks, 4 Chaos Orbs, 3 Astragalis, 6 Remnants. So that's already like 8 Chaos, 12. How much is Astragali right now? Let's say it's 1C. It's probably more if you buy them in bulk, but let's say it's 1C. So that's 3, 7, that's like 15, 20C. That's already like 20 Chaos. Everything else in here, something like Gilded Abyss, is probably in bulk worth like 5 Chaos, but even here is 3. A lot of these are around 1C. 14 fusings, decent amount of scours, regrets, so all of these things adds up. So yes, I can agree, it's nothing crazy, you're not gonna get like few things that are gonna be worth a lot, even though you are still gonna get from time to time a lot of divines. You're still gonna get just decent amount of currency from like a random stuff like stack decks, currency, and scarabs. But yeah, enough talking. Now let me finally show you the loot from the 50 lakes. So the results of the test. So here you can see all of the loot, and like I said, quite a lot of stack decks from 50 lakes. I think there is like 250 Chaos Orbs. Very good amount of maps. Most of them are like tier 16, 14, 15. Some of them are 11, 12. I believe I have like 480 stack decks. 4 Divine Orbs, which is definitely less than what I got from the 10 lakes run that I did before this test. So in this run, the 10 lakes I got 4 divines, and now in 50 I also got 10. So I definitely got pretty lucky with those first 10 that I did before this test. And as you can see, quite a lot of other currency, not that much Scourge currency, which is not really that great. Pretty good amount of expedition currency. For example, coinages, they go for like 5 chaos. So that's 100 chaos just from coinages, so pretty good amount. And I removed a lot of divination cards. I only left the decent ones, and the ones that I had full stacks I already exchanged and did put loot in here. So yeah, I didn't want to leave the cheap ones, but let me tell you, there was a lot of divination cards. 10 annulments, 20 unmaking, and 3 exalts. And I think exalts and divines have the same amount of chance to drop, so it was actually probably an average drop rate. And I also have a second tab with additional stuff, so you can actually drop the guardian maps from the map reward rooms, and I actually got quite a lot of them. So how many is it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 maps. I also got one tile with a reflection of angling, and that reflection did drop me the fishing rod, which is basically like an Easter egg, but it is actually worth, I think, like 50 chaos. These uniques I think I got from the divination card, they're not really worth that much. This is a very good roll storm secret, but it is also not really worth that much. Flesh crafter is like 30-40 chaos right now. Some tabulas. I did drop one enlighten, so actually gem rooms can be decent, and I did get a lot of like level 21 gems. For example, Grace is worth 70c, Tempest Shield like 30, Purity of Elements also 30, and so on. And I did end up with 4 decent reflections. So this one I actually did reflect myself. I tried to get the duplicated life, cold res, and mana cost, and unfortunately I did hit life and cold res, but mana cost turned into plus mana instead of minus, so unfortunately this is pretty much useless. But I got 3 other ones that are decent. This one has 200 life and 90 cold res, which is the worst out of all of them, and also lose life per hit, so it's not that great, but I just wanted to show you how bad all of the reflections are. Like, remember, I had 50 choices, and out of those 50 I only got 3 that are like even considered to be usable, so yeah, they are not that great. Next one is this one. This one I did put aside because it has 35% damage taken is recouped as life, and that's a very good mod. On top of that, it has flat fizz and 100 int, which is decent. So again, these two are not that great, but again, you shouldn't really expect anything great from them. But this one is actually a good one. I was surprised that I was able to find one good ring. This one is very good base, which is chaos resist. On top of that, 50 ES, 140 life, almost 100 lightning res, 30% damage recouped as life, so 1227, which all of these mods are pretty good. And the only bad mod that it has is minus 48 lightning resist, which actually is a very good mod as a minus for the Doriani chest builds, because these builds actually want minus lightning res. So this is crazy good one. So I decided to not include it in the test results, but I figured I'm gonna mention that I actually did end up getting one good ring. And also, like I said, I did one reflect myself, so which basically means in 50 legs I got one Kalandra tile. So it is pretty rare to get it, because yeah, to be able to put your own ring you need the reflection of Kalandra. So now let me show you the spreadsheet. So this is a very simple one, because obviously spendings are 0. I was just assembling them when I was doing other strategies, so no investment. I was using my own lakes. It took me 4.5 hours to run them, so actually a decent amount of time. And here I did write down all of the difficulties, and here I did also write down the good loot that I got. So I got the Divine from difficulty 9, Enlightened from difficulty Divine from difficulty 2, Enlightened from 9, Divine from 4, Exalt from 6, Divine from 7, Exalt from 12, Divine from 11, and Exalt from 12. So as you can see, you don't even need that high of a difficulty rooms to get most of your rewards. I only got 1 Divine from difficulty 11. Everything else, if you exclude the exalts, everything else was actually from single digit difficulties. So you don't really need to like push for very high ones. What you actually can do is you can try to make like a long tiles, maybe to create difficulty 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then here make like a big cluster of rooms, so all of them are around difficulty like 8, 9, 10. They don't have to be necessarily like in a line. That's another strategy you can go for when you are making them. But in terms of loot, I did end up with 27 divines, and as you can see, most of the loot is just from generic rewards, stack decks, and so on. So it actually was 6 divines per hour, which is pretty good if you ask me. I don't think I got extremely lucky with this one. 4 divines I think is good amount that you should expect to get from it. But there are still obviously some issues about this number and this strategy, which I'm going to talk about now. So first issue is obviously you still need to assemble them or buy them, and I think the lakes go for between 20 and 30C. So if you would be buying them, you would definitely invest some amount of money. And I did some calculations. So let's say every single choice takes you like 10 seconds every map. And on average, like I said, it takes like 10 maps to assemble one tablet. So 10 seconds times, let's even say 11 months. So it would take 110 seconds for every single lake. So divided by 60, that's 1.8 minutes. And I did 50 of them, so times 50. So if I wanted to add time to assemble all of these lakes, it would take me another 1.5 hours, so 90 minutes. So if I changed that to 6 hours, it would be only 4.6, which is still decent. It's not that bad amount. But the issue with this is that the lakes are actually pretty difficult. You need to have a pretty good single target to be able to do them efficiently. And if you have already very good build that can do lakes efficiently, you probably can make some can do some other strategies on Atlas with more than 6 divides per hour. So maybe like 7, 8, or 9 with some better strategies if you have a good build. But if you have a pretty bad build, you're not gonna be able to do this as efficiently. You're maybe gonna have to go for a lower difficulty ones and so on, and you're gonna make less than that. So I think that's the issue. Another issue is 6 divides per hour still looks pretty good, but in the last league when we got Sentinel, with Sentinel, people were making like 10 exalts back then, with exalts being worth much more. So 10 exalts per hour plus, like some people were saying they were making even like 15, which is crazy amount of number. Considering this is the current league, this should be crazy rewarding, and it's just not. But still, if you are thinking that lakes are just completely useless and you shouldn't be doing them, maybe you feel like you are wasting your time when you are doing challenges. So let's say, for example, this one, do 500 reflections. You are actually not really wasting time. It is still decent amount of profit. I personally am probably still gonna do them because it's still something new and different to do. We didn't really get anything new that is fun to do. So I'm still probably gonna be doing them, but maybe only for like a week or two, and I might drop it eventually. Especially, I'm gonna do at least until I complete all of my challenges that are around the lake. So for this video, that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching and see you next time.